Okay. Okay, I am not sure if it's streaming or not, so I will also record this and maybe use it for later just in case. So, hello, my name is Ricardo. I am just an old guy who makes video games. I'm not an expert. Actually, I didn't went to school to learn how to do all this stuff. Um, I am self-taught and autodidactic type of person. So sometimes people ask me if it's hard to make video games, because I have like 3 video games already released and for sale on Steam. And I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but releasing a video game in Steam looks easy, but it's actually not because, believe it or not, they have standards. You know? Standards in many in many instances. Not only your game has to be running, it needs to be fun. It needs to actually engage. It cannot be just a simple mess. Actually, I mean, I cannot show you, unfortunately, I cannot show you some stuff because to work with Steam, you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. So there is a lot of stuff that I cannot show, that I cannot talk about in regarding or in working with Steam in particular. But what I can say is that, of course, Steam is, a great company. Personally, I love Steam. Actually, I love them more than Nintendo, more than Xbox, more than anyone. Steam has been very important for me, not only because they gave me the opportunity to release my games, but also that since the beginning, I love how I feel that I am owning my games. You I don't see suddenly license revoked. For example, with Epic Games, I mean, sometimes I had licenses revoked, like the time they revoked the Grand Theft Auto license to everyone, and well, to everyone that got it for free, and lots of stuff. I mean, you don't feel you own games except when you're using Steam. Um, Also, I like the security. Everything about Steam, it's awesome, honestly. I mean, so they have standards, of course. To be this awesome, they have standards. Of course, they had problems in the past. People, I mean, um, people like using it for spreading malware or stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I think it could happen, but it's not always the case, Yeah, some cases, yes, of course, but not all the cases. So another thing, like sometimes you cannot control, like there is people that it's simply smart, malware, there is many techniques to hide malware, and even for example, let's say the standard of security has been, for example, Apple or I don't know, Google Play, for example. Even them, they have in the past problems like people also hiding malware in the Android APK or in the iPhones, certificates or stuff like that, you know. Like, I mean, there is people that is really, really good with their stuff. And if they want to do the things they want to do, you will not stop them. Why? Because they are so smart, so persistent. Sometimes the reward is super, super high. I mean, there is many governments that will want to, have like a botnet or stuff like that, just to check everything it's okay, I mean, maybe they will not hunt you, or in some other governments they will, but some others they just want to be safe. So I mean, it's hard to keep all that stuff really clean. It's very hard, but Steam does a pretty good job at it. I mean, they do their protections, they do their checks, they do their homework actually. I mean, I am really satisfied with Steam. They have rejected they have rejected my projects many times. I will be honest. I mean, um, for example, this game that I am making, they reject my first build because it was not really fun enough. Just to, like, to give you an idea. My my enemies were taking too much time to arrive, and among other issues, but they took notice of that. So releasing a game in Steam, it's not an easy task. You need to be perfectionist. You need to be doing the work properly. Otherwise, it will just simply get denied. So I will be helping you to achieve this type of quality. And I think the best type of game for a starter to begin with, it's not a third-person game. It's not a first-person game. It's not a second 2D game. I will say the most easy game to start it with, developing and releasing your own products, is to create virtual reality games. Virtual reality, not games, but experiences. So a virtual reality experience is actually, the name says it all. It's an experience. It doesn't need to be fun. It doesn't need to be even interesting. It just needs to be an experience. And what they mean with an experience, you need to immerse yourself in some type of environment. You need to put, for example, the way you're seeing that I am making this level. You can see I am controlling the lights. I am controlling the reflections. I have the lights wherever I want the light to be. There, it's there. Um, on purpose, this game is dark. I'm gonna show you why, because I put some in the weapons. I have some uh, flashlight attached, as you can see. Just to make it more, a little bit scarier, and you can see the shadows. It's working perfectly. This is taking actually a lot of resources, in the memory, because the shadow needs to be interactive, and I mean there is a lot of stuff happening in the background. But overall, you can see like the overall how is it looking. Sorry, I got a little bit scared with my own game. And well, as I was saying, To release a game on Steam, it's not that easy. You need to have some standards. You need to have some some expectations to be fulfilled because the people is gonna be paying, and when the people is paying, they have rights, they have expectations, and not achieving those expectations could end up in Steam having to pay because they will say like people will say like, oh, there is only slop on Steam. You cannot find quality games on Steam. So they have to make sure the indie developers like me, they are releasing quality products. So achieving a quality product is not that easy, I understand. Not everyone has the basic stuff needed to release a quality product, but if you release a virtual reality experience, you don't need too much. You only need to figure out a scene, like for example, I don't know, you can call it the jungle vacation experience for an idea. And then you just go here to the editor, the thing that you're seeing here in the screen, this stuff, this stuff over there. So you go here, you put some assets together, some 3D assets. You make a jungle scene, you place your character, and then when you put your headset on, you will be experiencing in 3D what the character should be like being inside your game. So that way you only need to figure out the basic stuff, for example, how to place the assets, how to play with the lighting, maybe how to add some background noises, maybe how to make some basic interactions like pick up objects or stuff like that. That will take you maybe 1, 2, 3, at most 1 month to learn. So I can teach you how to do that. Actually, one of my releases is called Virtual Lingua, VR Lingua, Virtual Reality Lingua, and it's an experience to learn Spanish and other languages. So that game took me like a month to release it, and I will teach you how to do something like that very soon. And yeah, it's really easy to make a video game, especially using using Unreal Engine, especially because there is a high amount of people releasing stuff in the marketplace. You will find a lot of blueprints, a lot of scripts, a lot of stuff ready to help you to deliver your product. So yeah, it's I understand with Unreal Engine you can release your video games in consoles like Xbox, PlayStation 5, etc. I'm going to be honest, the only thing that I have found in in Unreal Engine is the controller stuff and the multiplayer stuff. I don't know if you got the recent news that Steam partnered with some company. They are releasing like a game engine that has like multiplayer functions already embedded, making it easier for you know um, indie developers to develop multiplayer experiences. To do it on Unreal Engine is fairly easy, but not that easy. Especially in the Unreal Engine 5 and more. Those versions above 5.0 are like, I don't know, like having problems or issues with Steam. It's been harder to synchronize to do the stuff. Actually, my games, I have to downgrade one of them to 4.26 because 4.27 and 5 and beyond were not really working well for me. Most of the functions that I was using were not already there. A lot of changes. I mean, it's the unfortunate thing that they are like, not unfortunate, actually, it's a good thing, but I mean, it's hard to keep up with those changes, you know? Like, not only you have to keep up with your game and everything, you have to keep up with their changes, their upgrades. I mean, it's not an easy world, you know? So, sorry, if you want to develop your own experience, it's totally possible. I will say start with Unreal Engine. It's been the best for me. Unreal Engine extremely easy to manage, to work with. I worked with Unity actually. When I started my road learning, I started trying to learn Unity. There is a place called Circuit Stream. Circuit Stream is like an online education provider. Those are the best, honestly. They provide education for, you know, Steam, developing game, not Steam, I mean Unity, developing games in Unity. So, yeah, I tried Unity. It's really, I like Unity because it's lightweight. I mean, you run your executables there are really tiny. They use very little resource. You can make your game to run perfectly on anywhere, but I mean, you require a lot of coding, you know, and coding, I mean, yeah, I have notions. I have notions. Yes, I can code simple stuff. I can make some scripts. Maybe I can make some, I don't know, changes to big code, etc. But I'm not really into it. Um, I wanted something to make me more dynamic, something that allowed me to just focus on the artistic stuff and take a little bit less workload in the mechanics and all that stuff. That is why I ended up using this thing, this Unreal Engine, which is amazing. Actually, I am a fan of it. I might be trying um, the new Steam. I don't know what's the name of that engine. I forgot. Um, but yeah, I will be using that engine soon. But so far, Unreal Engine, unbeatable, super easy to work with. If you follow me through, I will start helping you to develop your own game. Just follow me, follow this channel, whatever you're watching. My username is Rich Black Hat everywhere you can find me on Kick, on YouTube, and yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, follow me. I will be making a quick update very soon to my first video game, and I will tell you how to make your own virtual reality experience. So right now I am working with this release. This release is called Illuminati Simulator Survival. So it's a survival game where you are in an Illuminati lodge, an Illuminati um, building, And the purpose is that you are experiencing like an initiation, an initiation test. If you read the Masonic monitors, Masonic books, like for example the Duncan Masonic Monitor, the Scottish Rite, Ancient and Accepted Scottish Rite books, York Rite, you will see something in common. And that something in common is that those type of orders, initiatic orders, of course, they have a process of initiation. And during that process of initiation, all of those orders have something in common. The common thing on these orders is that they submit the participants, the aspirant people that wants to join them, to three types of tests. One of them is the test of fire. I think it's very common for you guys to hear about the test of fire. That's a real thing on Freemason orders. So in this game, the introduction shows you like your character is like receiving an initiation, and then the worshipful master will tell you like, okay, you need to pass a test if you want to be a member. And the test starts in the chamber of reflection. The chamber of reflection is a place that is commonly in the underground or buried in the lodges, in the Masonic lodges. Most of them, if not all of them, actually have this type of room. It's a requirement, actually. This room is used on the initiation processes, but also it can be used for any purpose, you know, like if you're a Freemason, you can just go to your chamber of reflections and stay there as long as you want, if nobody's using it. And some Freemasonic orders actually have one or more chamber of reflections. I have seen with my own eyes Freemasonic buildings with two chambers of reflections, because sometimes when the initiation they take places in two or three people at the same time. Mostly two, but yeah, it can happen that one or more people is in the chamber of reflections, and this is separated. So this is why there is four chambers of reflections, one per player. There is four players at the first stage of release. There is going to be 8 players at the end release, but that requires me to do a little bit more server work, work a little bit harder for increasing the amount of players. Sorry, so at the beginning we will have only 4 players. So each player will spawn in a chamber of reflection for his own. Each chamber of reflection has some instruments, some standardized assets on them. One of them is the books, the Duncan monitor and the Scottish Rite monitor. They say like the books, the chambers of reflections can only be light. The only light that is gonna be available in the chamber of reflections is gonna be the light of a candle. They in those books they put like a layer of how each chamber of reflection, what element should contain. So these chambers of reflections, also the Masonic books tells you that these chambers of reflection should be monitored, especially during the time of an initiation. There must be like a secret area, most commonly at the door, but also can be at the walls. for the thing that they call the terrible brother. At least that's how I know it in the Spanish. I'm not sure in English how it's it called, but this is the area. This is another area in the game where you can like monitor, each chamber of reflection. So this is like legit, like legitly following all the dispositions, all the dispositions that are required for a real chamber of reflections. So this is what in the Masonic books it's called the Rapture Hall. Usually during your Masonic initiation, you will be facing the outside, like the street, and then they will cover your eyes, and then they will pull you inside the lodge. Like they will cover your eyes, and then they will pull you to the with really strong force, like the force of a hurricane. They will grab you and boom. So that is why it's the called the rapture hall, because they will rapture you into this chamber, drag you quickly and strongly. So in the Masonic books, this is called the rapture hall. It needs to be a square. So this is basically a square. So it's following also the Masonic texts and books. I am following, as I told you before, the Duncan monitors and Scottish Rite books. So there is like an area where like you will find lost steps, if you wanna call it like that. Pasos perdidos, like like just an area where you can find like the library and administrative stuff, of a common lodge. That is, this one is depicted in one of the blueprints and Duncan monitors. So also in the Masonic blueprints, they say like the working area of the lodge should be like in the second floor. So in this second floor, I follow this design. This is the design maybe you will find in the internet, this type of design. It's a real design of a Freemasonic order, including for example, the Tyler room before you enter, the actual working lodge area, the actual temple. It has a preparation room as the texts are mandated to have. There will be a Thelema order OTO area for the people that belongs to those type of orders. They will find there something to get related, some type of study, some type of stuff they can study. And here will be the main lodge that will be following the standard procedure of orientation, of course. um, so yeah, this is what I have right now. This is what I'm currently working at. This is the spawn area, the enemy spawn area. This is around where I will be spawning all the enemies from. The enemies will be increasing in amount and speed on each wave. The game will be the level, not the game, but the level will be completed once you arrive to the temple place in front of the worshipful master. So to do that, of course, you will have to open a lot of doors. Each doors will cost you points or money. So once you have enough points or money and you showed yourself to be worthy by surviving all those waves, then you will be arriving inside of the Freemasonic Lodge in front of the worshipful master. And when you arrive to this area, there will be a cutscene playing where you will be completing the initiation process where they show you the light, and then you get initiated. So that will be like the completion of the first stage. And there will be second and third stage. Like the first stage will be like the entered apprentice stage. Second stage will be like, you know, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but I will not spoil. I mean, but you will find that if you search it, it will be follow the progression. So yeah, that's it. And what is the interesting stuff of this game? Well, the interesting stuff of this game, Illuminati Simulator Survival, will be that the architecture, each element will have symbolic meaning. Each place will be like really portraying like real symbolic places, like of the Freemasonry places that most of the profanes we cannot go in and check out. So maybe you want just to check out how does it look a real Illuminati temple. So this is what it offers you, the real experience. I am trying to be as um, loyal and accurate as possible. I have visited many temples before, and I am following also ancient and accepted books. If you are a Freemason, you are a member of the Ordo Templi Orientis, Selema, Wicca, other Western esoteric culture, you will find this game interesting because it's made for you. For example, in case you are a Freemason, you will find there, like a real a real accurate build of a temple. Like you will find interesting how the worshipful master, like everything will be there. Everything will be there. I cannot, of course, say too much. It will be a little bit stupid for me and disrespectful. So I mean, it will not have any secret word. You know what I'm talking about. Don't worry. Um, it will be not having any type of recognition mode that it's meant to be secret, but everything else will be there, you know. So it will be fun. It will be fun. Some people will understand it. Some others don't. If you are the type of people that will understand what's there and what's the purpose, etc., some of the elements will have extra interaction. So I mean, yeah, check it out. Check it out. It's on Steam. It's on Steam. You can add it to your wish list. Just search for the Illuminati Simulator. I have one that it's already the Illuminati Simulator Virtual Reality or VR. And there is another one that is this one that is coming soon. That's the one you have to add for your wish list. And yeah, I hope you do that. The game is optimized for usage with the Steam Deck. with the upcoming hardware like the Steam machine, the Steam frame also. So it's gonna be awesome. You will be able to use 100% the controller. You will not have to, like switch between the keyboard, the mouse, the gamepad. Like, actually in the game Peches versus Zombies, I did that mistake. I was not able to, to develop that part of the game correctly. But now I was able to do it. It took me a lot of time, maybe a month to learn it and implement it. So yeah, that's a great improvement. Another improvement from my previous game will be the level progression. It will be more fun. Like the flow of the player will be thought to be spiraling in the sense that you will use 100% of the level, because for example sometimes when you design a level there is areas the player won't visit. Maybe there will be, if you don't have proper design of your level, there will be areas in your level that the traffic will be very slow, because the player will always choose certain paths, the shorter path to this, to that. So yeah, the during the game design, the level design, it needs to be well thought, and this thing I have to learn it during the process of years, and now I achieve level design that is very similar in my idea to the level design of not design, but the type of flow that I learned from, for example, Call of Duty Zombies. There is one game on Call of Duties where you are fighting zombies, etc., and you are opening like different areas of the game, and then at the end it's like circular, like you have all the areas open it, and each area interconnect between each other. So it's very fun because you can, travel around all the areas in circular path, and, like gather the zombies, like crowd them and then shoot them all together. I mean, you can do a lot of stuff. It makes the game very dynamic. So this is something that I implemented there. Of course, I cannot copy something like that because it's very particular. But I try to do something inspired on that type of flow, So my game level design is designed to flow, to interconnect between areas. The progression of the level, the last door, um, will require you, I mean, maybe 4 hours game. So unfortunately, so far I don't have like a system for like keeping the score, like maybe getting a snapshot of where are you in the level to continue later. But that's something that I will be implementing really soon. So if you really want to end up the game, you will have to do it in a single shot. So that will increase the difficulty, and the realism, because when you are in a Masonic initiation, I mean, you only have one shot, so you better do it right or start over. So I mean, kind of, you can see it as a feature if you want, but that feature, of course, will change in the future. So this is it basically. I just wanted to share you some previews of my game and show you what I'm doing and what is coming. So if you want to see more content like this, just keep following me, keep subscribing. If you're able to, put like somewhere. I don't know, give me money or something. Of course, I'm joking. Just buy my games if you're interested. Maybe that will be awesome if you can buy one of my games in Steam. Just search for my name, Ricardo Alonso Pina, or search for Pejes versus Zombies or Illuminati Simulator. You will find Illuminati Simulator VR and Illuminati Simulator Survival. That is this one coming soon. The game copyrights are registered in Canada. All rights reserved. 2026. I will be releasing maybe some courses, some tutorials on how to develop games. So if you're interested in that, let me know. If not, also let me know. So see you. Thank you and bye bye.